I'm here.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Nice to see y'all.
Nice to see you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so Gwen had another engagement tonight. So you have me and Pamela Jordan Wade tonight.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, congratulations on your new books. And now I'm gonna have to go back to Lexington, Alabama now, right?
Yeah, and this is the last book set in Lexington, the sixth and the last book.
Oh,
So, and
okay. Well, is this a totally separate story, but
yeah,
still
it's
continuing?
the first three books are connected. The
Yes.
last three are standalones. So this is a standalone story with all new characters.
Yeah, 'cause I'm telling you, those twins messed my mind up.
A lot of people said that. Okay.
I was like, oh my goodness, no, no. I was so sad about those twins.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people were surprised that, what happened,
Yeah.
the climax with the friend and the mix up and all
Yeah,
this
we
and
can't
that.
not we're not gonna tell the people what happened with the twins.
Let them read it, huh?
Yeah, they have to read what happened to the twins.
Okay. I hope they'll read it and enjoy it.
Yes.
But this
Okay.
new book is really
So
gonna
now
go
what
well.
happens in the new book?
Well, okay, we all wonder, we all have friends, best friends, and sometimes you think you have a best friend, and that's not the case. At least it was, in my case. The best friend I had for like years and years and years turned out to be my worst enemy.
Mm,
And this book, the main character, Louise, is friends with somebody she grew up with, but she's not who she appears to be. And so she um, conspires with a slick gigolo to take advantage of the main character, who's a well-to-do businesswoman. She's a restaurant owner, and so they conspire to take advantage of her because she's doing pretty good, for the time period, and one of the few people in the town, especially black, to have something and to have some money, and they want it all. But she has a surprise in store for them.
mm. Right
Big
now.
time.
Okay, I think you like being in Lexington, Alabama.
I do, but it's time to end the series, because that was a series. And even though only the first three books were connected, it's still set in the same town, and some of the same locations are mentioned. But the next book, the one I'm working on now, is set in Georgia. So I had to move it over a state. I wanted to keep it in the South, and I want to
Right.
keep it in that time period for now, because my readers seem to really like hearing about what it was like, or what they think it was like back during the Depression years. And so I'm going to stick with that for a while. There's a lot to be said.
What time period is this final book?
It's set in the same the Depression years. It starts in the
Okay, so
20s.
is it like so it's not really in succession, so to speak. It's kind of is it kind of happening at the same time?
Yeah, the same time period. Yeah, the same
Okay,
time.
but
Yeah,
it's I guess what I'm trying to say is that it didn't happen after Hubert, so to speak. It's just kind of at the same time things have
around the same time.
okay.
Yeah, same years. That block of years. That's going while he's over there doing his mess. These other characters are off doing their mess. The only connection is they're in the same little town, same time period.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Hmm.
I kind of like that. Like everybody has their own stuff going on all at one time.
Yeah, you'd be surprised in a little bitty town. And somebody said, how could all this stuff be going on in one little country town? And I'm from a little country town, and I said, you'd be surprised.
But do you have them
I,
at least pass each other? Like,
huh?
I mean, like that. Does Hubert have like maybe drive past them as he's going to do his stuff or anything?
No, I don't want to do that because I don't want to enter. The only connection was that some of the same restaurants are mentioned, and the streets, and the Fuller brothers are the Undertakers. They're mentioned in all of the books, but that's the only connection. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, because that would be interesting. Have them like maybe drive past each other, or maybe they
Well,
end up in the same
I tried to
restaurant.
do that, but my editor said, no, we need to focus on, okay, Hubert and those people said they've had their story. Now let's focus on these people and let them have the spotlight. And so that's what I did, their stories.
That makes sense. That makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
Now,
Mary,
Pam,
do you have
Huh?
your book? Go
Huh?
ahead, Rhonda.
no, I was just gonna ask you, have you followed this story? These
I
stories?
have not, but I've read some of her other books, so I'm
Okay.
familiar with her writing.
Well,
Okay.
this
Okay. Good.
this
Good.
one, you gotta read this series right here.
Got to
'Cause,
read this one.
oh my
Okay,
goodness,
I
these
was about.
people,
Is that
I'd be scared to
your
live in this little town.
do you have
This
your
is
book cover handy?
cover.
Okay,
Ain't
uh,
that a gorgeous cover?
come
Oh,
over a
that is
little
pretty.
bit.
She look mean.
No, this is what she looks like when she found out her best friend and her fiance were plotting against her. That's the way anybody would look. No, worse than that. It was me.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
No,
She
I
looks
don't
like a
really,
beautiful lady, though.
huh?
Beautiful lady.
But even the most beautiful people, the nicest, because this is
Oh yeah.
a nice, docile woman. But when you sometimes you don't know you have a dark side until people betray you,
Yes.
especially if it's somebody you trusted and loved and was getting ready to marry, and you gave a
Mm-hmm.
job and you did all this and that, and you come to find out that the whole time they were plotting to take everything you had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be pretty mad, wouldn't you?
Oh,
Oh, absolutely.
absolutely.
And believe me, they gonna get what they got coming, what they deserve.
And I know you know how to tell that story too.
Better than anybody.
Well, she can tell that story now.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And what I wanted to do was to grab people's attention right away. And so that's why the prologue starts with somebody sitting on death row, but you don't know who it is. You
Hmm.
won't find out until you get to that part. So
Okay.
you know there's gonna be some serious consequences there.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna take Rhonda's advice. She said I got to read that series. So
Yeah, but you don't have to read the whole. I mean, if you want to start with Mrs. Wiggins, the first book,
mhm. Okay.
that's okay. But then you have to read the two books that are part of that Wiggins family story for the
Hmm.
whole thing to make sense to you. But if you started with this book, it would make sense to you because it's all new characters. It's a standalone book.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like the twins, it's the story with the
Okay.
twins.
That's true. The first three are connected, but
Yeah,
the
Okay.
second three are standalone stories. They just happen to take place in the same town. So
right,
All
you
right.
don't have to read them in order per se. The first three you
Okay.
should read in order though.
right,
Okay.
right.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Gotcha.
the only thing I don't like about doing a series, and it's going to be a while before I do another one, is that, some people, okay, a lady sent me a mean email the other day, and she started reading one of my other series with the last book.
Hmm.
And that was a
Oh,
3-book series. So the story didn't make any, the third book didn't make any sense to her. And so she
Hmm.
gave me a bad review for that. And I told her, I said, well, if you're reading books out of sequence, what do you expect? A lot of things are not going to make sense to you.
right,
And so,
right.
Wow.
mhm.
Well, I hate to hear that she gave you a bad review because I know you're an
Yeah, she
awesome
did.
writer.
She
So,
said that I was talking about stuff that I don't remember this and I don't remember that. And I said, well,
I'm like,
dang
that
it.
was your fault, lady.
yeah.
I told her in a nice way. I said, this is the third book in a 3-book series. And you don't know anything about these characters as to how they ended up the way they did unless you read the first two
Hmm.
books. So
Right.
she said she was going to go back and read the first two. So we'll see.
Well, let's see if she fixes her review when she goes
Yeah.
back and reads the first.
That's the thing. The one thing I don't like about reviews is sometimes people, you get good reviews, you get, bad reviews and so on. And I can deal with that. But I don't like getting a bad review when somebody has it all wrong. Somebody gave me a bad review because they confused me with another author with the same name,
Oh yeah.
and I said, well, I'll be damned. And then you can't clean up all this stuff. And so you just hope that your real readers know, well, wait a minute, that doesn't mean her, you know?
Hmm.
And
Well, you
so,
have a large following though.
yeah, but you know what? There are 3 other Mary Monroes. 3. I just
I
found
didn't
out.
know it was three others.
Well, I knew about the
I mean,
other
two.
one. I
Uh-huh.
knew about the romance writer because,
Okay.
she gets my emails, I get her emails, and people, they look at the picture and still think, why are you writing a story about white folks? I didn't write that. That was the other Mary Monroe. And and then another one, I just met her. Well, I met her virtually. She's in Florida. She wrote a book called Crazy White Girl. And somebody went on and reviewed it and said, I don't know what happened to Mary Monroe. After the Upper Room and Mama Ruby, and now she's writing this crap and whatnot, whatnot. And I said, well, dang, that wasn't even close. Wasn't even me.
Wow. Well, it's interesting that out of the other Mary Monroes, nobody used a middle initial or anything to try
Right.
to set themselves apart.
No, the other Mary Monroe, the main one, her name is Mary Alice Monroe.
And she
My
uses the
middle
full
name is
name.
also Alice.
Oh, okay.
And some of the people I went to school with know that my middle name is Alice. And so when they
Mm-hmm.
saw books by Mary Alice Monroe, they assumed it was me. And they
Mm-hmm.
started, this is in my hometown, telling my brother, why is she writing about white folks? All these characters are white. That's not like her. And I said, well, that's not me. That's the other Mary. So I don't use Alice. I don't use my middle name. I just
Mm-hmm.
go by Mary Monroe. But the two
Okay.
other Mary Monroes just go by Mary Monroe. And you can't control certain things, and so you just do what you do and hope
That's
for the
true.
best.
Yeah.
You know,
Just don't lose any sleep over it now.
I,
Right.
I don't.
Right.
I used to, but I've gotten used to it, and I said, well, it's their fault if they can go back and figure it out because I've been confused by some authors. I was
Mm-hmm.
a big. I'm still a fan of James Patterson, and I picked up a book by somebody else named James Patterson,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, what the heck is this?
I didn't
Not
know there was
knowing
another author named James Patterson.
well, he's not very well known,
Oh,
obviously. He was some, I think he just went away. I never saw his name again. But I assumed it was, I say the real James Patterson, but the one that
Patterson.
I'm familiar with. Mhm.
And
But,
I've added his book that he has, his collaboration with Viola Davis.
oh, yeah,
I've
I saw
added
that
that to
today.
my list.
that's
Mhm.
what I
Yeah,
just
me
started
too.
reading. I just
Oh,
started
did
reading
you?
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna definitely read that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, I've
Yeah.
read so
See,
many of his
I'm
books.
I'm listening to it on audio. I mean, I'm saying I'm
Oh, you
reading it.
like audio books?
Yeah.
Me too, if I'm driving. Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Oh,
a lot of
you
driving and
take home.
walking.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I do audiobooks.
Yeah.
Mm.
I love audiobooks.
Me too.
Really love them.
If Gwen were here, she would go on a soliloquy about how she doesn't like audiobooks, but I like audiobooks.
I do
They
too.
put her to sleep.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
not saying I don't like them because I haven't tried them yet, but now I'm going to
Oh,
try them. But I
yeah.
still love the feel of a book in my hands.
Me too.
But I'm going to give the audiobooks a try. I
I'm
am.
glad you said that because some of my newer books are coming out on ebooks. People have the
Hmm.
Kindle and the whatever they use device that they use. And so a
Uh-huh.
lot of bookstores aren't ordering books like they used to.
Well,
I
for
used to
me,
have a
I would
mhm,
rather either an audiobook or a regular book.
in your hand, right?
I can't concentrate with an ebook
Me
because I try to
neither.
read it on my phone and I'm like,
No.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
only time I can read an ebook is when I go get my nails done.
Yeah.
I'll set it up on the little stand and then I
Uh,
can just like just read the ebook while I'm getting my nails done. That's the only
yeah.
time I can read an ebook.
Uh-huh.
I
I
think that
like to
would
have
be
a physical
difficult for
book,
me. Ebook. No.
because I have a library that I started 30 something years ago. It's real old books, original books with autographs of James Baldwin and greats like that. And so I
Hmm.
look at them sometimes and say, this is so wonderful. You can't do that with an ebook.
Right.
And so, or an audio book, but I like them all, but I prefer the book, the
Yeah.
hard copy or the
Yeah.
paperback edition of the book.
Yeah. Yep. I have your library, I'm sure, is a lot bigger than mine, but I do all of my autograph books. I treasure them and I don't get rid of them. Some books, if it's not autographed and I read it, and if it's not a keeper, I will
Hmm.
share it with other
Yeah,
friends who are readers, but my autographed books, I don't let those go. And
yeah.
I remember the very first book I got signed by Terry McMillan
Hmm.
at the Shrine of the Black Madonna here in Houston. I stood in line a long time to get into the room. It was
Yeah.
so crowded. Everybody wanted to see her then.
Uh-huh.
And so that book and the books by Elin Harris and
Hmm.
Yeah.
Brenda
Jerome Disney.
Jackson and a whole lot of people. They're keepers. I can't let them go. So they're on
No.
my shelf.
Well, I
I'll
learned the
keep them
hard
forever.
way. I learned the hard way not to lend my autographed books because I let
Oh,
some guy
you will
that I
never
was,
get it back.
huh?
You
Yeah,
see, you will
no,
never get it
I
back.
had an autographed copy of Giovanni's Room. Okay, James Baldwin's first book, I think it was his first book, and I let the guy that I was seeing at the time borrow it. He never brought it back, and it was so bitter. It was such a bitter breakup. And I called, hey, he'd be calling me. I just want my book back. I don't want you. Just give me back. You can go to HELL. I care. But and not just people, and then he never even read it. But I have friends who don't buy books, they borrow books and then they keep them.
Well,
Yeah.
the two things that I have experienced that you never get back are books and umbrellas.
And
And money.
and
And
things.
money. And money.
Yes,
Yeah. And money.
yes. Well, look, Rhonda, you said she was a hoot. She
I
is.
told you. I told you.
I have lent money to almost every relatives I didn't even know I had. And but the sad thing about it is that they don't read. They don't read my books. They think everything, these are we're talking about old country people, or people from the deep small town, whatever.
Mhm.
And they think, oh, everything you need to know is in the Bible. And every time I tell them I have a new book coming out, they let they act like they're hearing it for the first time. You still writing books? You still don't have a real job? How do you think that makes me feel?
Wow.
I don't even tell them anything now. I let them read it somewhere. I got a call from one cousin one day. I
They
started
probably
reading
don't even know you're famous.
magazine, blah blah blah. How come you never tell me? I said when I try to share with you guys, all y'all do is look upside my head. And then when your friends read my books, then you want to know, oh, did you send me one? Send me one. Sit and they throw it on the shelf, and that's as far as it goes.
Hmm.
And I have one cousin told me, you better not put me in none of your books. That thing about it. Every character in every one of my books is based on somebody I know. I do composites, right? But this one cousin said, if you ever write about me in one of your books, I'm going to sue you. I have written about that man in every single one of my books. So I'm not worried.
Read the book to know anyway, right?
They wouldn't even know, you know?
It's pretty
Uh-huh.
good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
there's
good.
some characters out there. Truth is stranger than fiction, they say.
Yes. So, how many books have you written? Do you know? I know you
Yeah,
know.
this one that just came out today is number 36.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow.
Well,
Number
congrats.
36. And
Congrats.
the one that's coming out next year around this same time, that goes into production on the 15th of April.
Okay.
Wow. So the
So
so the book the book you just showed us, what's it called? Bad
this,
Seed.
this is Bad Seeds. This just came out today.
This one just came out today. So today's
Today.
release day.
Today's release day. And the one I'm working on is coming out a year from today.
Okay.
And that one's going into production on the 15th.
On the 15th. On the 15th of April goes
That's
into
awesome.
production.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah.
Early congrats for the next year book.
Oh
And
yeah.
congrats for the one today.
Thank you.
I
So
Yeah.
like the
it's
cover.
going to go into production, which means that you'll have it back in time for it to go to the reviewers, and you'll be able to.
No, well, when it goes into production, the first step is it goes to the editor. Well, in my case, it goes to my agent because he used to be an editor, and then it goes to my editor, and they do whatever they need to do. and then we go to the copy editor, and
Okay.
and so on. It's a lot of steps that it goes through before it actually gets printed into, they'll print an art in
Right.
advanced reading copy, and then they go through that and the proofreaders, and we pick the models for the cover and all that. It's a long process. It's not like a one step thing. And so then when we decide, we agree on the model and the title, because they've changed some of my titles. This is one of the few titles that they went with, because they changed some of my other titles. They liked all my guys, like other titles, but some of the other books they didn't like the titles, and so we changed. And so the title I'm working with now is tentative. I don't know if that's the title they're going to stay with.
Okay. So you're not ready to tell us that title yet because it's too
Well,
early.
I'm going with quicksand. You
Quicksand.
know, yeah, we've got a woman who just makes one bad decision after another, and she's just sinking. You probably felt at times that, oh, like I can't get ahead for losing or whatever. And she finally gets to a point where she makes better decisions. She's got a hard luck story, but she really blossoms. She develops over a period of time, and she's got, oh, you know me with my revenge. We've got well, the gist of the story is that, her family pretty much abandoned her. The mom went off with the stepfather and so forth. And she ended up with some people staying with him, and she was sexually abused. She's a teenager when it starts, and she's pregnant, gets pregnant. He goes through this, and then she gets involved with the guy who's going to rescue her. And so she goes to the man who's been raping her, and they have a showdown, and she ends up killing him, or she thinks she killed him.
Oh,
What happens is the boyfriend goes to where the crime took place, finishes the guy off, but he lets her think for 15 years that she is the actual murderer.
Wow.
And believe me, when she finds out the truth, all hell will break loose.
man, where are you getting these ideas
You
from?
know, it's everywhere. Okay, I watch a lot of television. I read a lot of books. I eavesdrop on airplanes, buses, on the street. You'd be surprised.
You
You know,
eavesdropping on murderers though?
huh?
Are you
Well,
eavesdropping on
murder.
murderers?
But no, I can take a meek looking acting person and turn him into a serial killer, like Mrs. Wiggins or whatever. But people, you'd be surprised. People say, "Well, I can't come up with any ideas. I got writer's block." What do you do with writer's block? I don't even know what writer's block is, because
Wow.
everything around you is giving you creative nourishment. You just gotta recognize it, absorb it, and just go from there. It happens more to some people than others, and with
Yeah,
me, I just soak it up.
I
You
love
know,
that.
I
Love
think
it.
about things that when I had a marriage that was from hell, and a lot of this stuff I wrote that I went through when I was married, it's in my books and some of the characters. And I had a cousin tell me the other day, "Girl, you ain't gonna never run it with this family, our crazy family. You are never gonna run out of ideas." And I said, "You're right about that."
Mm-mm-mm. Well, Mary, it is always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Well, it's always my pleasure. And sorry, Gwen's not here with us.
Well,
Yeah,
I have enjoyed filling in for her and getting the opportunity to interact with you, Mary.
Well,
It's
thank you
been a
very much.
pleasure.
Uh-huh.
congratulations on you said your 39th book?
No, 36.
36th
I
book.
think I need to go back and count, because sometimes I say, "Oh no, it's 36." But I'm pretty sure it's 36.
Okay. But
Mhm.
congratulations, though, and congratulations on
Yes.
release date.
Yes.
Thank you. I
Congrats.
appreciate that.
All right.
Thank y'all for thinking of me.
Oh, absolutely. And we did put the link in the chat. So everybody go out and let's make this a bestseller on its first day.
Thank you very much.
All
I
right.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Have a great night.
Okay, y'all too. But
Have a
bye-bye.
good one.
Okay,
Thank
I'll see you
you.
later.